Hello and welcome back to Pandemic Playground with Dave. Right, so we're here with the first context video for the mountain base build. And just want to go through a few things that we've done so far with the time lapse. Alright, hey, welcome to my little home for the time being. So, if you want to step right inside, we got a nice little home, little base. Kind of tent-like cabin connected to the monstrosity of a drill system. We have a little bed, a shower, toilet, and we have our survival kit in here as well. So that is our little base. It's got a little bit of sand here. Just kind of leaks through a little bit. Unfortunately, don't have a broom, so can't sweep that out. But we're just gonna leave that for now. So let's just close this up and just explain a little bit about the whole mountain base time-lapse build. So first things first, this is actually the same save as the space station build. And if you don't believe me, let me just get into creative really quick. And if we go to entity list, we can find the space station somehow. It's one of these things, to be honest. And here we're in space and it should load right there. Okay, a little laggy, but yep, here we go. So this is the space station build that's actually just sitting up here and hanging out and probably draining power and refining stuff, but we have decided to move down there. So we took the same save so we could build down there and up here at the same time. Unfortunately, the space station haven't really worked on recently. As you see here, one of the next steps going to do is just color everything and everything like that. I'm pretty much done with the build of it, I think. So we're just going to leave it up here for the time being. Maybe we'll come back to it eventually, but for the most part, that's nearly done. Maybe I'll add some colors, save it in the workshop, and share it with you guys as well. But most definitely going back to the mountain base build, we could just go right to our little base here. And let's just go through kind of some of the stuff we did. So the first things first, this is a survival at the same time as a time lapse. None of this is creative. I'm in creative now only so I can kind of keep myself alive a little bit and fly around. But honestly, I don't use it while I'm building it in the time lapse. So the settings and mods, everything stays the same as the space station time lapse build, where we have build and repair for the most part and easy inventory. And that's pretty much it. And also the rich HUD, I think it's called. But that's pretty much all the mods that are on here. So with that said, we started with the survival piece. We built off a respawn pod initially, which is no longer around. We worked with the survival kit, build and refined everything we could with stone. And then we started to kind of drill in this aspect here to make the entryway of the mountain base. And that's where we got a lot of our materials. So it's a basic setup. We did a little bit of a home here with panels, side panels, put some build and repair, some cargo containers, and we were running out of cargo space for the most part. So initially you saw a whole bunch of connectors kind of connected back here that was going as far as probably right over here. That was an alternative to get more space, more cargo before I found some kobolds, which I did in fact find some down that way somewhere, if I can remember, off a boulder or whatever it's called. But yeah, we slowly evolved this area where we still have like our basic assembler, basic refinery. They're all sitting here right in front of us. Got enough stone and everything like that, and moved it forward to create the regular refineries and the regular assembler, so we can refine stone, cobalt even quicker. Well, at least cobalt for the time being. So with the finding of cobalt, we made metal grids so we can make large cargo containers such as this. So that's pretty much the base itself. Basic power, we have our turbines spinning. It's the most power we can get out of that, and that's the only power source at the moment, which we're on Earth, so it should be more than enough for the most part. Other than that, we did so many different reiterations of the drill system here, where we can create this into an infinite drill if we wanted to. Right now it's not infinite because we slowly drill it. Well, it kind of is infinite, it's just not automatic. It's a bit manual. So I've been building it out as far as I can, for the most part, until the build and repair could reach it and everything like that. So we can slowly shift it forward into the mountain right there. So we're pretty deep, but not deep enough. And I think we need to make the entryway a little taller too. So we got to bring it back eventually to start drilling out some more. The biggest problem I have here is that when we drilled it initially with the different types of drill systems, it created a really wobbly kind of drill part right here. So you see here's a little bit lower than the other part. So I'm thinking maybe we drill a little bit more lower as well as higher. But I'm not too sure how much this drill system is going to be able to hold to make it continue to be straight. The last reiteration is this, which is these tubes connected to connectors, and we have the landing gears to kind of hold it straight. So I hope the more we make it, the longer we make this, it's still gonna stay straight as much as possible. I gotta say, one thing I did not like with the time-lapse build here on this planet is the weather. Is you can't see squat when it's sandstorming. So I think eventually I'm just gonna remove the weather. It's really no point of it, and it's really annoying where I can't really record what's going on. It's hard to see, so we're gonna eventually take that off too in the next session. But yeah, so we could automate it, projectors and everything like that, get some power on this drill system. So just put a battery here, put a turbine, recharge it up for a little bit, and then we can just put like a projector somewhere around here or so. So we could just keep projecting a little bit further. Actually, that might not even work out, to be honest. The best way to do it is probably to... It looks like I lost my tools. But yeah, so the best way is probably to use a merge block instead of a connector, or at least a combination of a connector and a merge block, so that we can put a projector on this thing right here and then project it towards out there. So when it's merged in, we could have the build and repair kind of build out the drill arm a little bit further. But we can still leave it as is and manually do it. For the most part, we could automate a lot of stuff, but in some ways I just want to have control of it to make sure we don't go too far in. And if something breaks, you know, it's not going to ruin the ground too much. So that's pretty much why I was doing everything manual. Then I just removed the weather. Now it's raining. Anyways, this last style for the drill actually works out pretty well. Again, I don't know how long we can go before it might tilt over down a little bit. It may not at all, which is great. But we're going to have to keep an eye on it. Definitely going to make it a little bit bigger. So it's a simple rig here that we've done so far. I'm going to keep redesigning it if we need to. But again, I think we need to make this thing a little bit bigger. However, the entryway, we are not sticking with the voxels anyways because it's so jaggedy and everything like that. We're going to end up putting blocks here to even it out. So it shouldn't be too bad. I think if anything, it's going to be right over here in terms of where I'm going to put the block. So I need to back it up a little bit, or maybe I not. Maybe not. Maybe we just build it from here. Like, let's just see for an example. We could build it from there. Maybe. I mean, it's an idea. I probably prefer it to be down here, but then we do have to drill down a little bit as well. But yeah, eventually we will drill higher, a little bit lower, even this part out with using this style drill. And I just realized this should shift it a little bit. It keeps shifting. I don't know if you noticed that before. This thing was not even close to it and touching. Now it's very close together. So it's kind of weird, a little glitchy. But other than that, yeah, it's a very compact base. The drill arm is the main aspect of it. We got a whole bunch of ice and stone, mainly from drilling through this pathway here. And then we built out our little rover to help kind of look for materials such as the cobalt. So this thing is a a really weird design that I just randomly put together. I really wanted just to hold a large cargo container and a connector on top, so we could do some kind of repair stop thing or repair arm or something like that, just to bring it up. So if we have to weld something on the bottom, we'll weld it up. But then again, it doesn't really matter because we have built-in repair anyway, so what difference does that really make, right? It's a wide system right here, so we have the wheels pretty far apart, so that's the main aspect of it. There's a drill arm here just so we can drill for those boulders that come up. I forget what they're called. And of course, there's two-seaters because one of them is for the camera person to have that. But either one works fine to sit in. It has two batteries, two large batteries for the small grid. Has an antenna or detector, some more, and a lot of lights actually. That's more lights than I'm usually put on a rover. So I got 4 spotlights and 2 offset lights back here. And it's as simple as that. I mean, it's just a drivable, quick little rover I just built, so we can use the arm to get materials. So, of course, being that I'm using the same save as the space station, there's a lot of different points out there too. But luckily, all the space ones right down there, south of, well, not I can say south, but under where I'm at. But all the other stuff that I found, we found silver, we found gold. No, not gold, cobalt. Oh, we did find silver and gold right in there. It's actually it's very close to the hole I made. There's silver and gold there, but then there's cobalt right over there too, and also iron as well on the little spot there. So a lot of different materials around, which is good. And for the most part, I am using this to gather cobalt using the arm. We haven't really scouted any further for any other materials such as platinum. There's magnesium right here. We could also use nickel and some silicon, if anything. But I mean, the more basic stuff we have, like this is an iron kind of deposit. Nothing too crazy, which we can use the drill arm to grab this. Grab as much as we can from the rover, bring it back, collect it, and we're pretty much good to go. So yeah, the next few episodes I really think is going to be expanding on the entryway here. So we got to find a way to perfect it, make it a little taller. I think it's only 2 or 3 tall right now, which is not great. It can't fit too much, but it is a little hidden when you are going a little too far away like this. So that's not too bad. Unfortunately, when I was making a drill, I created these little craters. Not exactly what I want. I prefer it to be flat. So eventually, maybe I'll use voxel hands to fix this, or use some blocks to fix it. So we could just kind of put it like this, right? And just kind of patch it up or so as an idea. But yeah, we'll leave it for now. If it gets a little too annoying, I'll probably voxel hand it as perfectly as I can. But who knows how that's gonna go. But yeah, so that's the context video for the mountain base. There's a lot of things I want to do here. Not in terms of outside. The outside, I just want to make a drill system so we can drill in and make it as big as possible. But sometime around, I'm not even sure which part, and I'm gonna probably go spectate and we'll see like how far I'm at right now. We're barely scratched the surface, as you see right here. So we definitely want to go in a little far in, maybe even up to kind of the middle area of it, or right around here to start going up, maybe? I don't know. I feel like we started in a really odd spot where we had to go really, really deep in. And this mountain itself goes pretty far back, right down this way. So you see here, that's pretty much a speck of the base. Do we want to drill all the way through? Maybe we could. That way we have 2 entryways. Do we want 2 entryways? Hard to say, because I think if we did 2 entryways, will it even be able to use it right here? We might be, but actually no. It's kind of like a crater here. So I don't want to go too far in that case. and we probably don't need that big of a hole for everything. I mean, there's a good amount of stuff we can put in the base, but we probably don't need that much. But we'll see how that kind of turns out. I just want to keep drilling. That's kind of one of the fun aspects of Space Engineers, for me at least. Probably for some of you as well. But I enjoy drilling, so we're going to just keep on drilling, and then we're going to design the base a bit. And I think this time when I've designed the inside, we're going to use color as we build, because I don't want to have to go back and paint it later. So we need a color scheme. If you have a good color scheme in mind, feel free to drop a comment down below. Let me know of an interesting color scheme that you might be using or have been using, other than that kind of like that blue, white, gray color from the respawn pod, which I do like that color scheme a bit, but we could use any other color scheme as well. I record these pretty much on a weekly basis, about 3 hours or so. So of course, every week, feel free to drop a comment down below, throw some suggestions, and I'll be happy to kind of create it and go with what your suggestions are. I may alter it a little bit, pretty much like the drill system, but it's always fun to get some new ideas from you guys as well. Alright, so with that said, thank you guys very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, it really does help the channel. And of course, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.